Jade saying, take everything out of the closet, get it out of there, wipe down the things. Like, for me, that's punishment. Like, I'd rather just burn the building down. Like, and Jade's like, that sounds like a great Tuesday afternoon.
Sounds like the best use of my time.
Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of the Better Merch, Better Marketing podcast. As always, I am one of your co-hosts, Kirby Hasseman. Joining me today is the branding bestie, Jade Kreider. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here. So,
Things going well on your end?
yes, good and busy and all the things. So it's not raining today, and that's really all I'm asking for here at this point.
Yeah, and busy's right. It's been interesting because last year our second quarter as a company was pretty slow, and I feel like everybody's sort of running around like a chicken with their head cut off right now in our company, running in different directions. And usually for me, I like that. You know, I always say if I'm bored, I'm poor. So I do not hate that we are pretty busy here right now. And if you are new around here, the Better Merch, Better Marketing podcast,
One more time.
words. Better Merch, Better Marketing podcast is brought to you by Hasseman Marketing, where we love to deliver marketing joy. If you check us out at hassemanmarketing.com, there's some tools, there's tons of content there, including this podcast. But if you're in marketing, we've got the Target Marketing Playbook. If you're in HR, there's the Target Hiring Playbook. And so you can get those tools for free. Okay. So Jade, let's dive in. We've got several interesting topics today where you sent them to me, and I even reached out for clarification because I was like, I don't know what that means. So I'm gonna. Do you want to lead this first one, or do you want to?
It's up to you. I don't care. I'm excited about all these topics, so I don't care.
All right. So I have titled this first one, "Eco and Budget Friendly." And so, all right. So what we're talking about here is, you know, I think many organizations are wanting to be more sustainable. You know, we like the earth. But, you know,
cool.
The challenge is, I think when eco-friendly came out and sustainability came out, many of the options for doing that were very, very expensive. It was like, I'd like to do this, but it's hard for me to afford. And I think that that's evolved a little bit in a good way. And so we kind of, am I doing this, setting this up right, Jade? We wanted to talk about some options that were sustainable, that were eco-friendly, and but not like product specific, but just things you could do that would add sustainability and some eco-friendly options that wouldn't break the bank. So
yeah. I actually didn't write down a single product. I did all ideas for people.
Yeah,
so
same.
The goal is genuinely just to help. So I'm going to go first because I'm already talking. So my first one that I have is going to be, I've seen a couple different things about this. It's on social media and stuff like that, but it's the bring your own cup event / thing. So there's different ways to do it. If you have an event, you can encourage people to bring their own cups to the event and have like kind of a drink station if you're doing an event that way, whether it's a golf outing, anything like that, and just have big jugs of lemonade and water and things like that. The other option for like the bring your own cup is to bring your own cup into work and have water jugs available at all times so that people aren't bringing plastic water bottles and they're just bringing their own reusable water bottle, whether it's from you that they got previously or if it's one they have at home. So it's just a way to kind of limit it. And frankly, everybody has their own cup anyways, so they might be doing it and you just don't realize it, but you're offering plastic water bottles. It's cheaper to offer the jug. So there's different ways to kind of do that.
Yeah, I like that. And, you know, I think that, so I think that's a great idea. And I'm glad you landed the plane there and said, because then there's less waste, because I think that some of those one-time use plastic things are one of the things that we just are used to using. But there's just some better options out there for it. So I really like that. And quite frankly, the drinking experience is much more pleasant. It's going to keep the water cold better and all that sort of thing.
All the things.
And I don't know what it is about water bottles today that you buy at the store where it's like you can't hold it without it actually crumbling down and spilling all over.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, just for what that's worth, I think that's a good one. The thing that I'd written down was to just ask your distributor partner, the person that you're buying branded merch from, ask about sustainable options and eco-friendly options. And what I mean by that is, I think when those first options came out, it would be like, oh, you could get this tote bag and it's 99 cents, but you could do this eco-friendly version. It's 11.45. It was so much more expensive that it was like you had to be so committed to the model. Most people really struggled with it. And I think that what's happened is, and this happens in our industry a lot, is suppliers have gotten smarter and gotten better about doing those things. And sometimes there are like pieces have, I'm thinking of our friends at Rupt, who they actually have full transparency on their website, and they'll tell you this piece is made of 35% recycled material. This is 10%. This is this. This is
they
this.
They do a great job at that.
Yeah. So they've gotten better about being transparent, but they've also, you can feel good about the purchase because you know there are recycled materials in it. And I don't feel like it's a marketing ploy or whatever. So I say this to say, just ask, because the partners that you're working with might have some good options. That could be us, but it could be anybody else. So just ask. There might be more affordable options for sustainable branded merch than you might think.
Well, and for a while it was like you had to buy 1,000 of them too. Like not only was it expensive, but you had to buy 1 million of them. And like Rupt, for example, they have a 1-piece minimum. So there's so many more options now. It's expanded so much. I have 2 more, so I don't know how many more you have, but I have 2 more.
One more.
So perfect. My next one is to move to QR code based brochures and online swag catalogs. So it's just another way to not be handing out flyers. So if you can do a QR code, whether it's on a pen, whether it's on this or that, to eliminate, if you're at a job fair, rather than handing out like a flyer, you're handing out a pen that has a QR code on it that can be reused for other purposes. Or like the online swag catalogs, rather than handing those out and taking people's order manually, there's online options available, and then it just eliminates some of that paper waste. So that's just another option to eliminate a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. And future topic, we could talk about ways to do online shops well. So that's I like that. My second one is simply to buy quality pieces. So buy quality merch. And I know that you're hearing this and you're like, yeah. The problem, I think, sometimes is budgets are very important, and we should be cognizant of budgets at all times. But we also need to be cognizant that the thing that you're utilizing is putting your logo on and is representing your brand. You want to be sustainable. Don't do cheap shit, because cheap stuff gets thrown away. A really nice branded, like a double-walled vacuum sealed tumbler, much like you were talking about, that's the tumbler you're going to bring, right? And it doesn't have to be a Stanley or a Yeti, though it could be. But a quality piece, if you do a quality piece, that's the ultimate in sustainability, right? Because those items that are your favorites never get thrown away. And so one of the ways to be more eco-friendly and be sustainable is just to do things that people will keep and want to use.
Love that. My final one is, we'll kind of circle back to this similar thing, but it's kind of do a spring clean out of your break room. So kind of refresh your break room. Go through, add some water dispensers, ditch the plastic utensils and put in some reusable, like metal utensils and things like that. Just look at what you've got in there. Do you have a ton of paper plates that people are throwing away every single day? Could you go and get a couple regular plates from Walmart and it, frankly, maybe be cheaper in the long run? They have those 50-cent plates that you can reuse over and over and over. So there's different options in your break room and in your office of things that you might already have even been doing, and you're not giving yourself a pat on the back too. Like, so keep that in mind when you're kind of doing a refresh of the room. It's springtime. It's what we do. And make sure you have those nice mugs in there. Make sure you have those nice water bottles for the people that forgot them.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I like that a lot, because I'm literally thinking through our break room.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking that might be a great place to add some signage to just encourage it, right? Yeah. Just to, hey, here are some ways that you can help us, kind of reserve the world.
Yeah.
So
literally.
Okay, I like that. That's really good. Cool. All right. So those are a few ideas to do eco and budget friendly.
Yes. Trying to be a combination of some different stuff you don't hear every day. Our next topic is going to be a lot around the fact that Meg is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I think that's something that's getting, way more and more common of a topic. Nice mug. So something to keep in mind when you're doing stuff. So I wanted to kind of cover some different ways to support your team during Mental Health Awareness Month. Yeah. Some of them being merch, some of them just being some tips and tricks. Most of mine are just tips and tricks because I have a feeling... I figured you'd have some merch stuff in there, so you could start then.
Well, and I want to throw this out. I mean, I don't pretend to be a mental health professional, and
Yeah,
so
fair.
I don't want anybody to feel like I'm putting myself and saying, "Oh, well, this is how you do it." But these are some things that came to
Mm-hmm.
my mind. Because it was around the idea of helping the mental health of the team, right? Am I
Mm-hmm.
hearing that right? Okay.
Yes,
So the
perfect.
first thing on my radar is either like mental health, excuse me, service projects as a team, right? Because one of the
Mm-hmm.
things that I've found is in my life is that when I am feeling helpless, I need to feel helpful. And so when you get a group of people together and just go do something good for the community or for the environment
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, it tends to help everybody's mental health. Mine for
Mm-hmm.
sure. And I'm kind of
Yeah.
speaking from experience there. There are other activities you can do as a team, but then when
Yeah.
you incorporate the idea of doing some good in the
Doing good.
community,
Yeah.
the other thing about that is it's amazing the relationships you create in those moments. I tell the
Mm-hmm.
story of my wife, as you know, your mother is in Rotary and has been in Rotary for a long time. And I would go to Rotary meetings and I love all the people who are there. But at one point, the Rotary built a pavilion and I was a part of that project. And I was up on a roof with Joe Hogue, who owns the local Papa John's. And we were up there. I'm sure everything was OSHA approved. And, but
You're
man,
volunteering. Who cares?
yeah, I got to know Joe so much better in that
Mm-hmm.
small window of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Than I did in a bunch of
Climbing on the
meetings. And
roof. Yeah.
yeah, it was because we were doing good together and we were laughing and we were
Yeah.
joking. And I think that that's probably true for your team.
For a lot of things. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good one. I actually really like that one.
Okay.
My first one, I actually saw somebody else do this, so I
Okay.
kind of took a mental note. But they are doing a take a break campaign. So
Mm,
they're encouraging people to take a break every 10 minutes. They're sending out a reminder to take a break. But the one that kind of went along with that was to promote walk meetings. So
I
if you're
love
both in
that.
the office, go for a walk as you're meeting. Oh, cool. Or a call. So like if Kirby and I were going to hop on a call, we could just call while we were both taking a walk as a way to take a break, get away from your desk for a minute. I am guilty of it, especially working from home. I don't
Hmm.
step away from these 3 feet. We already talked about the fact I'm leaving for a walk as soon as we get done with this podcast. So
Hmm.
it's just something to kind of get people. It's hard sometimes to get away. So sometimes it's a good reminder. And to hear it, speaking as an employee, hearing from my boss slash father, hey, go take a break, seriously, stop stressing it, it feels good because you almost feel guilty sometimes taking a break,
Oh,
but when you
sure.
hear it being told, you're like,
Hmm.
yeah, I should take a break. You're right, like
Yeah.
you're right,
Yeah.
dang it. So that's kind of my next one.
Well, it's actually funny. It's one of the reasons I want an office. You and I've
Mm,
had the conversation about work from home, work from the office. Is when I worked from home, what I realized was I just worked. Like I would go
mm-hmm,
into my office at 6 o'clock. I'd come out for dinner with the family, and I'd go
mm-hmm,
back into the office and work. And I'm
mm-hmm,
launching a company, and that's. But I wanted there to be a place where I went to work, and I could see it in you, especially when you first started,
mm-hmm.
because this was a while ago, and I would be like, Jade, you need to get out of the go away, because again, we get it can be
It's
overwhelming. So
hard.
yeah, I like that one.
That
That one's
work
a
life
really good.
balance, especially from home, can be a tricky thing. So if you have a
Yeah.
team that does that, encouraging that is really it. That's really the take a break campaign, is just encourage people to be human and take a
Yeah.
break and walk away.
Yeah.
That's really all it
Well,
is.
get into nature though. I think that's a part of it because
Yeah.
there's so many studies that talk about the mental health advantages of just being in nature,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's good. My second one is just from a leadership perspective, but not only a leadership perspective, is just
Mm-hmm.
showing appreciation. So if you've never heard me say this before, there's a study out there about customers that says that 69% of customers that leave you because of perceived indifference. In other
Mm-hmm.
words, almost 7 out of 10 think they leave you because they don't think you care, right? And from a marketing and a sales perspective, we're like, oh man, we need to show appreciation for our customers. But I think that those statistics have to be the same for our employees. And I think just taking the time, not because you're trying to retain them or whatever, but just to say, hey, I probably haven't said this in a while. Thank you for all you do. Be
Mm-hmm.
specific, like of the things that they're
Mm-hmm.
working on or whatever. I find that boosts the morale and that's going to help mental health in your
Mm-hmm.
facility.
Yeah. My next one is kind of a simple one. It seems simple, but sometimes hearing the simple stuff is good. Is to just share a mental health tip of the week.
Mm,
Just like a, hey, here's your reminder for this week. Tell yourself you love yourself in the mirror today. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Do the silly thing that you already know, but just share a tip to just say, thinking of you this week, here's your tip of the week. Yeah. It's free. You can text it to your people. That's it. Check. Like,
yeah, I like it. And I think it leads kind of just, it really is about focus. So, you know, what you think about in your life tends to expand, right? And to good or bad. And so when you realize that what you think about in your life expands, you get really careful about what you think about once you understand that. But most people don't. And so just like you said, just focusing on, hey, I'm going to be intentional about trying to be kind. I'm going to be intentional about trying to help with appreciation or mental health. I think by doing just by the sheer act, they say that if the first thing you want to do, if you want to lose weight, is start weighing yourself every day. Because all of a sudden, just by knowing it, you're like, oh, crap. And so I think the same thing is true on something like this. So just make it a focus.
Do you have one more? Because I do.
Nope. That's what I got.
Okay,
Go.
one more. My last one is to pick a mental health day or week. And on that day, pick a random day in May. It doesn't have to be a specific day, but pick a day, or if you want to go for a whole week, and give somebody a half day if you think they're struggling. Have them let them keep their cameras off on the Zoom call all day so they can wear their eye masks while they do work and don't have to feel like anybody's watching them. Bring a treat. Bring like some donuts to work. Pick a day. Pick one day even. If you can't do the whole month, I totally get it. Pick one day, pick 1 week where you really truly focus on it. Or pick a week if you have 5 employees and focus on 1 employee each day. Just take a minute. I mean, a half day, cool. I mean, not everybody can do that. So I'm not saying that that's the answer, but I saw the thing that said just to turn your cameras off that day. Love that. Something along those lines that you know your employees will appreciate, that won't cost you a ton or completely screw up the work day, and just show kind of appreciation through acknowledging it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so give me a half day.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like it, and I think that one of the things that you and I talk about, like off podcast, is when you say that. And I think we've talked about this on the podcast too. Is that like people say treat people how you want to be treated, and I think that's true to an extent, but like telling like that wouldn't be of value to me. Telling me that I could turn my cameras off. I actually enjoy, this is one of the interactions I like because I can see your reaction. I can see how you're taking a joke or a comment. I can tell when you're upset. You can't always tell that stuff. And to me, this is one of the technologies that is better. I understand where it's like, people are like, well, but then I have to be on. Well, but see, that's kind of the bitchy stuff where people are like, well, I have to be on. Yeah, that's what happens when you're in the office too. Like, that's just work. Like,
yeah, well, also we like our team. Not everybody likes where they work, so we try and give grace to everyone.
Okay, this is one of those that I'm just like, okay,
suck it
I'm
up,
trying.
Buttercup.
All right, next up. You brought up the topic, and I'll let you lead with it, but it is spring cleaning merch.
Yeah, so just kind of, everybody tends to have like a merch closet. I feel like that's a thing. We even have one at our office, and we are a merch office. But everybody has the the closet that could use, we probably have 7. The spring closet that could use a clean out. Do you even know what's in the back of there? Like, do you know, truthfully? And so when you go to your next event, do you know what you actually have? So this is kind of just, I wrote down kind of 3 things to consider. My puppy's going to even say hi. He's got an opinion here. And so just some things to kind of consider when you're doing your spring cleaning, if that makes sense. Or tips and tricks, I guess.
Yeah, I like this one. This was one that this is one of the ones that I reached out to Jade for a little bit of clarification because I was like, I don't understand what you mean here. But I do like this because, and I want to give credit to Bill Petrie said a term one time, and he called it the closet of shame. And it's it's the stuff that you did that didn't turn out right or whatever.
Yes.
Anyway, so there's that too. But what you were saying is a really good one. Is like sometimes it could be old logos or stuff you did a long time ago, pens that don't write anymore or whatever. And it's just taking up space. So the idea of cleaning out, I think, is really interesting. So why don't you lead it and kind of.
So
let
yeah,
us
I
know what
kind of
you're
put
thinking.
down 3 points. I'll say
Okay,
all of
go
them
ahead.
and then I'll kind of let you go if that's
I love
okay.
it.
Just because it
Yeah.
kind of makes sense. So the first one is literally just take some time, take everything out of that closet. I know it sucks, but then you can't turn back. Then you can't back down.
True. True.
Take everything out of that closet and wipe down those shelves. And then reorganize and kind of repurpose those items. If they have the old logo on it, but it's something that maybe some of the people in the office could use, if it's old stress balls that don't have the right logo on it, could you hand it out to just some of the internal team that won't really care if it's the wrong logo on it? How can you repurpose some of those items, even though they're not something that you want to give out today? And also take a moment and go, does Gen Z really want a stress ball? No, I don't. If you hand me a stress ball, I'm throwing it away. I feel pretty strongly about that. So just take a moment, look at what you have, and then plan for the next thing and plan with a purpose, because now you know exactly what you have and you don't accidentally buy more pens when you already had 1,000 pens in the closet. Now instead buy some cute pins, buy some hats, buy the stuff that you're low on stock. You might not have even realized you were low on stock on a couple items. So take everything out so you can't back down. Reorganize and repurpose, and then plan ahead with a purpose. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah, those are really good. Because I wrote get rid of your old logo. The other thing, and you kind of referenced it here, is old logo or old brand purpose. So what I mean by that is like all of us, not all of us, but many organizations have ordered things that at one time made sense for their brand, but now they feel cringy.
Make sense,
right?
Yeah.
Like it
right.
And so, there was a time that we did imprinted ashtrays like that. Like maybe that made sense for you
now.
then, but maybe not now. And that's an example. But so pay attention when you. By the way, as a total side note, I apologize. I'm totally going off, but Jade saying take everything out of the closet, get it out of there, wipe down the things. Like for me, that's punishment. Like I'd rather just burn the building down. Like, and Jade's like, that sounds like a great Tuesday afternoon.
Sounds like the best use of my time. I'm thinking about doing it with this one.
So just as a side note, if you're one of those people who's like, I don't want to do that, Jade's like, just it's okay. You can't turn
just
back.
Do it.
I love doing that. Anyway, the other thing I was thinking about was
I'm laughing because I'm excited to pack. No one's excited to pack. I'm aware I'm a psychopath. Anyways, continue.
The other thing I was thinking about, though, is it might inspire new ideas. Because I think when you do take the time to look at all of the old merch, you might be like, oh, and maybe if you don't even see it, it's like, didn't we do a pen the one time that everybody liked and we got rid of it really fast, but now we've got these other ones. And the reason we have these other ones is everyone hates these ones. So
they're still in the closet.
Yeah, or whatever. Like, oh, you know what?
Our fidget pens that we can't find now because they got stolen all from our office. Maybe we should do them again. Things like that. You can kind of consider 100%. The things that went really well.
So it might inspire kind of new branded merch ideas. So getting rid of the old logo, making sure that the future brand merch is on purpose. And it goes with your actual brand. And then, it might inspire some new ideas for some cool future campaigns. So I like this one. I think that, and it's a good time of year. You talked about spring cleaning in the break room. Now we're talking spring cleaning in the closet. Jade just has spring cleaning on the mind.
Probably because Jade could use to come to the hospital marketing office and spring clean that building. So maybe that's why.
Well, come on in. And you wouldn't know. You're not here.
Yeah, it's bad part.
Okay, so now it's time for our product of the week. Bring it.
Today, we are focusing on, this is the 12 can in particular. They have a couple different sizes, of course, but this is the Kilimanjaro, I believe is how you say it.
What a
So they have a whole collection. Yeah, it is a really fun name. So this is a really nice cooler. And I know what you're thinking, Jade, it's a cooler. First of all, summer's coming. You need new coolers. It's time to throw out the ones that have meat stains on the bottom. Period. Next.
No meat stains. Got it.
No meat stains. But this specific cooler, 12 can, absolutely love it. The side here has the nice little keychain, which you could also hook your keys to in case one of your buddies tries to clean out your cooler. And then it's got...
There's a story there.
It's got some nice handles on the side, the handles on the back, and then, we gotta feature my favorite part. this is like a little, this comes out, number one, in case you get meat stains.
Right.
But number two, you can put drinks on the bottom, stack this, and put your sandwiches on top so that your sandwiches don't get soggy, which I think is sick. Ready for the best cherry on top?
Yeah.
1 piece minimum, no setup charge.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That one's pretty awesome. Okay, that you win. That's a really good one,
right? I think pretty good. I think.
and to be fair, that was the best part of that, guys. Is you just saw a product demo that I'd never seen before. That was my first time seeing that, so that's really cool.
I love it when people send stuff to my house.
Yeah, that's awesome. And for what it's worth, the story she's referencing is I was on a golf trip like 2 years ago, and I took a cooler, which was a great cooler, and I got in. Okay, calm.
I was showing what happened.
And my buddies wanted to pour out the ice in the water, and I had keys and a wallet and my phone in the pocket, and they dumped it over the thing. Luckily, the only thing I lost was my keys, but it went to the bottom of a lake that we never found again. So
or you
that was
put
exciting.
Your keys in the zip-up pocket so that even if they shake it up down, or there's hooks, there's all kinds of places to keep your life organized. If you could just get it together, you'd be set.
I need all the help I can get, for sure.
We're going to take everything out of the closet, hook your keys to Kilimanjaro, and we will be set.
Yeah. All right. Well, you are. We got to fly you home to do some spring cleaning, and the Kilimanjaro. That's a cool product. I love that. Okay. Final thing for the podcast is our shout out. So again, if you're new around here, we do a shout out every week. We try to just shout out different organizations, different people, different whatever that are doing good things. And we want to spread the word about good things going on in the community. So,
yes, we do.
And if you have any, please share them, because while there are lots of good things, I don't want to repeat myself that much, because I think this is true. A lot of organizations there are some organizations who are doing a lot of good. And so you tend to talk about them. So if you know of anything going on in the community, in the region, in whatever that you think should be shouted out, let us know. But today I want to talk about our pals at COTC. COTC is Central Ohio Technical College. And they have a program that I just don't think enough people know about. Now, they probably have a similar program in different regions, but they have one in Coshocton County, and it's called the Coshocton Promise. And essentially, the Coshocton Promise means if you make under a certain amount of money, you can go to COTC for free. Full stop. Right? Now, of course, you got to fill out some paperwork and whatever. But I think the number, and again, don't quote me on this, people, but I think the number is around $60,000 a year. So not like it isn't like you have to make $1 a year, but it is an opportunity to get education at a local community college for free for Coshocton County residents. That's a crazy thing. And so they've implemented that, and it was going on for a couple of years, really grew. Then COVID went and it came down. I'm blown away how few people, very, very few people take advantage of this. And so I would highly recommend to go check it out. And I'll put the link in here, but it's literally like cotc.edu/post/Coshocton-promise. Talk about a no-brainer. Whether it's you, whether it's a kid, whether it's a grandchild, and you are a Coshocton County resident, go check it out. So,
well, and as somebody who used to live in Coshocton, I think I just forgot that they did that, truthfully. Like, I think I knew at one point, and I think I forgot that it was happening, but that's really cool that it should be talked about more. So I like that one. That's a good one.
Well, yeah. Well, and again, I think thanks. I think that that's one of those that can't be said enough. I said I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I think, in the hustle and bustle, and I think the other thing, I think that people think it's too good to be true, right? Like, oh, that can't be right. It is right. Go look at it. Yeah. So the Coshocton Promise, if you don't know, if just Google COTC Coshocton Promise, you can find it. Cool? Yeah. All right.
Thanks everyone for watching. No, I'm just kidding. Do your thing.
No, it's good. This was great. This was a fun episode. I think we covered a lot of ground. We were very kind to Mother Earth today, and so I love that.
Mother Earth and our brains. We're going to be nice to our brains and Mother Earth, and I like it.
All good. And hey, if you want to learn more about us, just check us out at hassemanmarketing.com. We'll try and be kind to you as well. And yeah, this is, there it is, the branding bestie. Okay, so that's the pin, one of the pin things that you've done from Talk About Pins, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's super fun.
And I'm obsessed with it. Also, shout out Common SKU for my favorite hat. But anyways, sorry.
Hillary
Hillary
Morris and Talk About Pins, right? No, it's
very
really
excited.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Appreciate it. And we will see you next time.